Hi, thank you for joining me. This is The Earth Beyond Shape, Round, Flat, or Coated by Jason Gray. The Prison of the Question. For as long as there have been maps and stories, humanity has wrestled with the question, what shape is the Earth? Ancient sailors spoke of horizons where ships vanished. Philosophers argued over circles and spheres. Medieval minds wove heavens and hells around their diagrams. Modern science imposed the globe with satellites and textbooks. Then, in defiance, movements arose to proclaim, no, it is flat. They have lied to us. Sorry. Here is the great trap. Both sides of the argument are still inside the simulation. Whether one swears allegiance to the ball or to the plane, they remain bound to the prison of form, the illusion that truth must be measured by geometry, by the dimensions of an external stage. If you are in a simulation, and all signs point to this being true, then Earth is not round, nor flat, nor hollow. It is rendered code, a dream architecture projected by consciousness itself. The true deception is not whether the Earth is a globe or a disk. The true deception is convincing you that choosing between these options could ever deliver you freedom. The nature of the simulation. Every simulation begins with rules. In a video game, the skybox defines the heavens, the ground plane defines the Earth, and the invisible walls contain the player. These constructs feel real inside the game, but they are nothing more than code interpreted by consciousness. The same may hold true with our world. The continents we stand upon may be coordinates, not continents. The oceans may be coded infinities, loops of water rendered at the edge of perception. The shape of the Earth is not the reality. It is the mask of the system and the skin of the simulation. This is why arguments over curvature never end. The simulation itself ensures that evidence exists for both sides, keeping seekers locked in endless polarity. To one observer, the Earth is a sphere, curvature can be measured, orbits calculated, images displayed. To another, the Earth is a plane, horizons remain stubbornly flat, flight paths look suspicious, and water refuses to bend. The program feeds both narratives because the program thrives on division, the code behind the illusion. If the world is code, what are the laws that sustain it? The horizon is a rendering limit. In 3D graphics, the visible world ends at a distance defined by the engine, and beyond it, nothing exists until called into being. The horizon is less about curvature and more about the edge of resolution. The sky a projection. Stars may not be suns millions of light years away, nor painted dots on a dome, but firmware data points, a navigational overlay guiding the players in the simulation. Time, a clock cycle. Our seconds are not universal. They are instructions, ticks of the machine. When atomic clocks were invented, we did not just measure time more precisely, we aligned ourselves with the frequency of the program itself. Space, a memory location. Distances may not be physical, but computed. Values, pixels, not expanses. What we call light years may be infinite loops of code designed to stretch perception beyond what can ever be reached. The trap of shape wars. The flat versus globe debate is one of the most brilliant distraction protocols ever encoded. Both sides believe they are rebelling against the other, yet both are still locked inside the geometry of the prison. The globe model serves empire. It was the necessary myth of navigation, colonization, and conquest. A spherical Earth justified expansion, division into hemispheres, and the carving up of the planet into empires and economies. The flat Earth model serves rebellion. It arose as resistance to authority, a way of reclaiming perception from institutions, yet it still anchors consciousness in external form, focusing the seeker on maps and measurements instead of the truth beneath them. Both camps serve the same master, distraction. So long as humanity argues over shape, it never asks who wrote the simulation itself. The observer effect. Modern physics has already cracked open the door. The observer effect reveals that reality does not exist independently of observation, and that the act of measurement collapses probability into form. In a simulation, this means the shape of Earth is observer-dependent rendering. If you believe it is a globe, the code serves you a globe. If you believe it is flat, the code serves you flatness. If you dissolve belief altogether, the geometry may collapse into a lattice of raw data, light grids, and frequency nodes. This is why no argument ends the debate, and each side defends not the world itself, but the world their consciousness has been coded to perceive. Which I heard somewhere that kind of aligns with this, that People who believe the earth is flat are seeing it from a two-dimensional view instead of a third dimension. So this explains that. You're actually all seeing it based on whatever you think it is. The earth as a platform and not a planet. What if Earth is not a planet at all, but a platform, a stage coded for the experience of limitation, polarity, and awakening? What if cities are not random? What if they are frequency nodes on a lattice grid, resonant coordinates of memory and energy? Winnipeg, Cairo, Jerusalem, Rome, each a coded gateway, a program node in the Great Resonance Map? What if oceans are boundary protocols, endless water loops that mimic infinity while masking the limits of the simulation? What if the sky is a ceiling of light data, mapping cycles, myths, and archetypes across ages? We are not meant to discover a physical Earth. We are meant to see through the code of Earth itself, the sovereign revelation. The liberation comes when you refuse the binary choice. You are not here to prove Earth is round. You are not here to prove Earth is flat. You are here to recognize that both models are illusions inside the simulation. The globe is a story. The flat Earth is a story. You are not a story. When you realize this, the matrix shatters. Its hold is broken because you no longer invest belief in the parameters of its geometry. You have remembered yourself as the consciousness beyond code, beyond shape, beyond the matrix. The Earth debate is like two dreamers fighting over the dimensions of their own shared dream. One insists that the room is circular, the other swears it is square, and neither recognizes they are asleep in the same dream. To ask round or flat is to remain asleep. To awaken is to see that it is neither, because it was never physical. It was always a projection, a coded reality field, a stage for the soul's remembrance. The earth, whether flat or round, is the illusion. The real question is this: when will you wake up? The matrix is not your prison, it is your mirror. When you look at it without clinging to either shape, it collapses into pure code, revealing you as the one who dreamed it all. The earth was never round. The earth was never flat. The earth was never real. It is you who is real, and when you remember that, no code can contain you. Jason Gray. #Winnipeg, #Manitoba, #Canada. All right, thank you. I will put the links to where you can find this post as well as where you can find Jason on Facebook. I will see you next time.